Okay, I'm inside a cave. I had to switch batteries on my camera. Let's see if this one lasts any longer. Okay, I'm gonna turn up the light to 100% brightness so you can see. Okay, there's 100% brightness. There's the way it came. Notice that side of the cave is dozens of feet away. The ceiling is dozens of feet up. Look how the cave just keeps going. Absolutely huge. Wow. Okay, but I'm gonna leave my light about 30% to keep it from overheating. Make sure the battery lasts a while. It's at 2 bars now. I'm still on my first light. It's at 2 bars. So I actually have plenty of batteries, but like I said, I'm more worried about it overheating. Interesting colors on the wall here. This whole cave has all sorts of weird colors. Normally lava tubes are just gray, but they can have all sorts of other colors in them. What's weird though, look at how the cave, let me turn it up to 100% brightness so you can see better. Okay. Notice how the cave, the ceiling suddenly gets lower up there. You know, it's natural in a lava tube. Sometimes it happens because instead of one big level, it splits into 2 levels on top of each other, like a 2-story building. But I don't think this cave has an upper level though, so kind of suspicious. All right, so put it back down to 33%. All right, looks a little steep here. So I'm gonna go down to the left and then back down to the right, just to make it easier on my feet. These rocks are tearing up my boots. I'm almost to the point I'm gonna have to buy new boots. Oops, I almost tripped over a rock. Some of these smaller rocks are very tricky. There's a small ledge here. I think I'm going to go to the left of it so I can look underneath. Sometimes there's cool stuff underneath the ledge. Very interesting indeed. Notice how some of the rocks are really smooth here. Some of them are very rough. Majority of them have pretty good texture here. Perfect for walking on because they have good texture, so it's not slippery, but it's not so rough that it might cut up your hand too badly. Man, look at the weird textures on the walls here. Crazy. And it's different higher up. And it's even more different higher up. Oh, wow. Man, look at this. The ceiling. Hold on, let me see if... Hold on, let me turn up the lightness to 100%. Oh, come on, now my light doesn't want to behave. Wow. Hold on, let me turn around here. Oh, wow. Okay, so remember I said when the ceiling was lower, that sometimes means there's an upper level? Huh. Looks like there might actually be a short upper level there. Look, there's a ledge. And then even higher, there's a way up. You can see those water drops falling down. Really, 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 really high up there. Wow. Okay, so needless to say, I've never been up there and I probably never will. And it's not even on my bucket list. So, yeah. Wow. Especially since the upper level is obviously very short. Now, what I would really like to do is the upper levels of Ape Cave. But yeah, all the people I know who do vertical, they don't care about Ape Cave. They're like, Ape Cave is for beginners. Yeah, well. Oh, wow. So, one, look at the colors of the rock here. But two, I'm going to turn around. Look at the floor. There's a hole on the floor. There might be a lower level here. So let me go down here very carefully. Got it zigzag because the floor is a bit uneven. Wow. Yep, there's a tube underneath the main tube. Ow. Definitely need new boots. My poor boots. All right, here we go. All right, there you go. Want to do some caving? All right, well, anyway, I'm not going to bother right now. I'm going to just finish the main tube here. All right. I'm pretty sure it doesn't go back very far, so it's not like I'm missing anything important. Probably just a rattlesnake, rabbit bat. I like how it's like a little balcony up there. Too small to walk on, but definitely bulges out a bit. Notice how it's not very smooth here. Got some loose rocks. Like, look at that one there. That one's probably totally loose, so please don't touch it. It's perfect the way it is. Wow, this is crazy. Look at this. I'm gonna turn up my light to 100% again so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so there's the way back I came. Notice the ceiling is dozens of feet up here. Cave is dozens of feet across here. Now look at this. It's about to open up even bigger. Holy cow. Huh. This is fun. Okay, I'm back down to 37% brightness on my light. Save some battery life. Keep it from overheating. Now I get to climb up on top of this rock pile, see where I am. Although the funny part, this rock pile, it obviously came from the ceiling. That's why the ceiling is so tall, because it fell down. I'm basically walking on the ceiling here, former ceiling here. But the point is, I won't be able to see that far. Ooh, hello. Look at this. How do you like that rock? Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go up to the top of this rock pile, and then I'm gonna turn up my light again, look around. If I can. It's a bit steep here. I'm getting old. It's really sad. Whoa. Another loose rock. Just what I need. Oh, wow. Man. Okay. Oh, darn it. Floor is a bit uneven here. Okay. Wow. Okay, let me turn up my light to 100%. That's where I came from. That's the little rock pile I just climbed up, hence the swell noises. Now there's looking straight across at the ceiling. Higher, higher, higher. So even up on top of this rock pile, the cave is like 50 feet above me. It's just huge. Even then, across dozens of feet wide, it's just a huge cave. Wow. Crazy. Okay, I'm gonna turn my light back down to 35% about. See if I can get through here. Wow. Oh wow, look at the rock here. How most of it's kind of purple, but it's got that brown stuff on it. That's rock. That's not sand. That's like a dripstone formation, kind of. Wow. Such a cool cave. Huh. See, there's a little ledge here on the right. I'll see if I can walk along it, but it has a lot of loose rock. I should try to be gentle with the cave. So, yeah, you know what? Instead of walking on this ledge, I'm gonna go down below so I can see better. And then I don't have to knock so many rocks loose. So look at the color and the shape and the texture of the wall here. That's where I just was. I already showed you that from a different angle. Wow. And keep in mind, I'm nowhere near the ceiling. Wow. Those white drops, those are water drops falling down. Wow. Crazy. This would be a good place to come in here with a tripod and get some long exposures. You know, point a light straight up like I did and just either do a time lapse, shoot a video, maybe speed it up a couple times, or, you know, play with the cameras. Now look at this. I showed you all this stuff is dripstone. Look at that. So I'm glad I didn't walk on the ledge because I'd be like too close. I'd like bump this stuff and damage it. Even up here for a ways. A lot of good stuff to see. All along this wall. It's kind of cool. Let's see if I can go up here just a bit without touching anything. See, this whole rock is like covered with it. Same thing up there. Wow. It's definitely not the prettiest dripstone formations I've seen, but kind of unique anyway. Wow. Alrighty then. Okay. So you could probably walk along this wall for a while, but it's definitely a dead end. So for my own safety, I'm going to go down here very carefully. Okay, I'm going to turn up the brightness of my light 100% again so you can look ahead. See how big the cave is, how colorful the cave is. Wow. Okay. All right, there's 35%. Wow. Notice how colorful the wall is here. Sort of a weird orange colored. It's vertical at the bottom, and it kind of bulged out a little higher for a while. Oh, hello. Look at this. I'm going to turn up the light again. Oh, come on. Notice how the ceiling is tall here. Let's get taller even again over there. That could mean there's an upper level. Look at the weird texture of the ceiling here. Wow. Fascinating. All right. All right, so let me turn the light back down to 35%. Somewhere in there. See if I can find anything cool ahead. Interesting texture along the wall here. Huh, there's almost a trail on the right here. Well, I was going to stay right anyway. Guess I could follow this trail. It's like a trail in the loose gravel. Not sure why there's so much loose gravel on the right side, but whatever. Who am I to argue with a random arbitrary trail? Oh, wow. Oops, hang on. Nice little hole up there. Oh, wow. I got to show you this. Okay, got the lightness up to 100%, right? There's the way I came. There's the ceiling. There's wall, 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 ceiling. All right, good. Whoa. Oops, hang on. I almost fell over backwards looking up. Okay, that was stupid of me. All right, wow. Wow. So this one's part of the ceiling's got to be close to 100 feet tall. Absolutely huge. Wow. All right, so let me turn it back down to 30% brightness again. Wow. Luckily the floor is nice and flat here, so yeah, I took a little calculated risk when I was looking up without something to lean on. So I'm wearing a heavy backpack with extra batteries in it, so if I lean back too far, I'll fall over backwards. I need to be careful not to do that. Duh. Over here, you could kind of climb down next to the wall. But pretty sure there's no point. Just a little gap in the wall. But anyway. Wonder if any animals go down there. Like, do bats always stay up near the ceiling, or do they sometimes go down in places like that? Be interesting to know. Ooh. Okay, hang on a second. I want to find a place to stand so you can look at this interesting rock. Okay. The floor looks a little bit steep to the right, so I'm gonna head over here to the middle. Wow, here's another cool looking rock. Who would guess there'd be interesting rocks in the cave? Alright, here we go. Looks like there's some cool stuff on the left wall. I'll go ahead and try to remember to do that on the way out. For now, I'm gonna stay to the right. Work my way down counterclockwise. Here's another arrow pointing the way out. Like it's hard to figure out. It's not like this cave branches out or something. Whatever. Now, arrows like that in a Dead Horse Cave, that might be kind of handy. On the proof of vandalism. Leave a trail of breadcrumbs. Here we go. sorts of interesting colors around here. Wow, this cave is a lot of work, climbing up and down all these big rock piles. They're not as big as I remember. I remember the boulders being even bigger. But, oh well. It'd be funny if I was in the wrong cave. Alright. Well, considering I found it on the first try, it's like the easiest cave in the world to find. But anyway. Yeah, these might be the rocks I remember. Wow. Oops. Oops. I'm almost to the top. Then I want to look around. Wow. Okay. Okay, my light's going out, so I'm gonna switch lights. Hang on.